it needs to be said. I can relate to that young lady, and I felt for her.
Mm-hmm.
I know what it's like to be hated. I know what it's like to be a Black woman and hated because of my color.
Yeah.
In Caitlin's game that night against the Phoenix Mercury player Alyssa Thomas lodged her fist into Caitlin's neck in a play where no foul was called during the game.
She uses her body. What happens when one of basketball's greatest legends watches the WNBA's brightest young star become the center of a growing controversy? You're about to find out, because Cheryl Miller's stunning reaction to Alyssa Thomas's play involving Caitlin Clark has sent shockwaves through the basketball world. But first, let me ask you this. Have you ever watched a professional athlete face the level of scrutiny and physical attention that Caitlin Clark has encountered throughout her career? What Cheryl Miller witnessed during the Phoenix Mercury game reportedly changed the way she now views the WNBA. That's where this story takes an unexpected turn. Cheryl Miller knows exactly what it feels like to be the player everyone targets. From 1982 through 1986, she dominated a league filled with elite talent, and opponents often tried to neutralize her physically when they couldn't match her basketball instinct. But this time, Miller drew a clear distinction. That's when the conversation surrounding Alyssa Thomas became even more intense. According to Miller, there is a major difference between hard championship-level competition and what she believes happened to Clark. In remark that quickly fueled debate, she described it as one of the most cowardly things she had witnessed on a basketball court in decades. Yes, you heard that correctly.
There seems to be something involving this girl, and there's an elevated level of physicality that obviously compromised her availability last season, where she missed a few games. There is a palpable resentment towards this girl, where you have people who are resenting of her star power and her cachet. And as a result, if they have an opportunity to go at her, they're going to take it. Now, Caitlin Clark is no innocent bystander.
When Cheryl Miller watched the replay of Alyssa Thomas making contact with Clark from behind as she was already reacting to being struck near the eye, her response was immediate. Few people in basketball history understand true competitive intensity better than Cheryl Miller, a legend who battled elite opponents throughout her remarkable career. Yet even she believed there was a clear difference between fierce competition and conduct that crossed the line of sportsmanship. But what caught Cheryl Miller's attention most was the timing of that shove. According to her, that's where everything changed. Before we continue, if you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and stay with us. Now, back to the story. Cheryl Miller raised a point that many fans had quietly discussed, but very few respected voices had openly addressed. Delivering contact to a player who is already vulnerable and unable to defend herself, she argued, is not championship-level basketball. Miller explained that she competed during one of the toughest eras in women's basketball, yet players still confronted each other head-on. If there was a battle, you faced your opponent directly instead of taking advantage when they weren't expecting it. That's what she found most troubling about the incident. Her comments immediately intensified the discussion surrounding Alyssa Thomas. Miller was equally disappointed by Thomas's reaction afterward. Rather than admitting she may have crossed the line or expressing regret, Thomas suggested that the criticism from fans and media had been unfair. That response only strengthened Miller's opinion. According to the basketball icon, the greatest champions accept responsibility when their actions place another player at risk. She argued that truly elite competitors never hide behind excuses. Instead, they own their mistakes and move forward. Miller also shifted the conversation toward Caitlin Clark, praising the qualities she believes make Clark. According to Cheryl Miller, this kind of behavior represents one of the most troubling moments she has witnessed in competitive basketball. Her comments quickly became a major topic across the basketball world. Drawing from her own experiences with physical intimidation during her playing career, Miller compared Clark's situation to battles she once faced. But she also made an important distinction that placed Clark's journey into a much broader perspective. At only 22 years old, Miller argued, Clark is carrying more pressure than many athletes experience throughout an entire career while also serving as the undeniable face of women's basketball. Then came the statement that sent social media into overdrive. Miller warned that if the WNBA allows repeated targeting of its biggest stars without meaningful consequences, it risks creating the impression that players can stay relevant through questionable tactics instead of improving their basketball basketball skills. In her view, that sends a dangerous message to both current players and the next generation watching from home. Young fans, she argued, should learn about talent, discipline, effort, and sportsmanship, not unnecessary physical play. Yet the most powerful part of Miller's message focused on Clark's future. She predicted that every setback, every hard foul, and every attempt to intimidate Clark would only strengthen her resolve to answer with her performance. Miller even compared the challenge to her own rookie season, when opponents constantly tested her toughness. The difference, she explained, is that Clark must handle all of it while carrying unprecedented media attention and expectations as one of the league's biggest attractions. That's why Miller believes supporting Clark is about more than defending one exceptional player. To her, it's about protecting the values that make basketball great: skill, vision, class, and relentless competition. Miller concluded that the WNBA now stands at a crossroads. It can either: will the WNBA embrace Cheryl Miller's call to better protect Caitlin Clark, or will critics continue questioning how the league handles moments like these? Now it's your turn to join the conversation. What do you think about Cheryl Miller's strong criticism of Alyssa Thomas's actions? Was she too harsh, or do you believe her concerns are completely justified? More importantly, do you think the WNBA will eventually take stronger steps to protect one of its biggest stars? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single one. If you enjoy basketball analysis that cuts through the noise and explores the biggest stories shaping the game, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss another update. Cheryl Miller's remarks have only intensified the spotlight surrounding Caitlin Clark and the WNBA. Across the basketball world, people continue watching to see what happens next. As this story unfolds, one thing has become increasingly difficult to ignore. The conversation is no longer about one game, one hard foul, or one controversial moment. It has become a broader discussion about the future of women's basketball, the standards the league wants to uphold, and the way its brightest stars are treated under constant public attention. Long before entering the WNBA, Caitlin Clark carried expectations few athletes have ever experienced. Millions follow every game she plays. Every performance is analyzed, every success celebrated, and every setback becomes a headline. That's the reality of becoming one of the most recognizable names in modern basketball. At the same time, veteran players across the league continue competing with pride, determination, and years of experience. The challenge facing the WNBA is preserving fierce competition without allowing it to cross into unnecessary physicality. Fans want passion, rivalries, and elite basketball, but they also expect fairness, consistency, and respect. That's why Cheryl Miller's comments have. There is no question that Cheryl Miller's comments have ignited a major debate, whether you completely agree with her perspective or believe the situation has been exaggerated. One issue continues dividing fans, analysts, former players, and media voices alike. What should happen when the league's biggest stars become the focus of repeated physical play? Should officials enforce the rules more aggressively? Should the league hand out tougher penalties? Or is this simply part of competing at the highest level? Everyone seems to have a different answer. One thing, however, has remained consistent. Caitlin Clark has continued focusing on basketball instead of allowing controversy, criticism, or physical defense to define her career. She keeps showing up, competing, and reminding people why so many believe she represents the future of the sport. That resilience is one reason her supporters continue standing behind her. Meanwhile, the WNBA is receiving more attention than ever before. Television audiences continue growing, arenas are filling, online discussions expand every day, and new fans are discovering women's basketball at an unprecedented pace. Moments like these shape more than one player or one franchise. They influence how the league is viewed across the world. As the season continues, every game becomes even more significant. Every Caitlin Clark appearance will be examined. Every controversial play will be replayed. Every officiating decision will be debated. Together, those moments are shaping one of the most closely followed seasons in WNBA history. Now the biggest question belongs to you. Do Cheryl Miller's comments accurately reflect where the league stands today? Do you believe the WNBA is doing enough to protect its players while preserving tough, competitive basketball? And what impact do you think this entire situation will have on Caitlin Clark, Alyssa Thomas, and the future of the league? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I genuinely enjoy our